Good day, girls. Welcome back to Science 2 class. Let us continue with Chapter 8 Cell Biology and Biotechnology. Children, in first part, we learnt about stem cells and organ donation, organ transplantation. In second part, we studied about biotechnology and its application. Third part, now we will talk about agricultural development. In agricultural development, there are some stages: green revolution, white revolution, blue revolution, fertilizers, insecticides, organic farming, apiculture, cultivation of medicinal plants, and fruit processing. Let us discuss each one. Green revolution. In agriculture, different methods used to harvest maximum yield from minimum land. These methods are collectively called green revolution. Dr. M.S. Swaminathan is called father of green revolution in India, while Dr. Norman Borlaug has done the similar efforts in US. Before Green Revolution in India, there was always the death of the food grains. The overflowing Indian population was badly affected due to poor quality and quantity of food. But due to Green Revolution in India, attention was focused on the agricultural research, improvised dwarf varieties of wheat and rice, proper use of fertilizers and pesticides, and water management were the proper methods that increased production of food grains. This created abundance of the grains for Indian population. Next is White Revolution. Few years back, there was scarcity of milk in various parts of India. At some places, milk and milk products were abundant, but they did not reach all the consumers. Dr. Varghese Kurian, who was then the founder director of Anand Milk Union Limited, popularly known as Amul, started the cooperative movement in the direction to produce Operation Flood, that is, abundance of milk everywhere. The use of biotechnology was also done to increase the milk production. Dr. Kurian's efforts have reached all-time high status as India is now self-sufficient in dairy business. This is popularly known as White Revolution. Different experiments were performed for quality control. Newer dairy products were thought of, and preservation methods were improved. This created White Revolution. Amul from Anand has now reached international standards. Now next is Blue Revolution. Utilization of aquaculture practices for obtaining edible and commercial aquatic organisms is called Blue Revolution. In East Asian countries where water bodies and fish population is abundant, the aquaculture was started. On similar lines, in India, the aquaculture of different freshwater and marine organisms is being done with the help of fishery scientists. Government of India has vowed to increase the aquaculture production by encouraging the people for aquaculture by launching the program Neelakranti Mission 2016. Pisciculture is culturing of fish. Mariculture is culture of marine organisms such as prawns, shrimps, and lobsters. Seaweeds, oysters, Clams are also cultured. For carrying out aquaculture, 50% to 100% subsidies are offered by the government. Freshwater fishes like rohu, katla, and other edible varieties like shrimp and lobsters are being cultured on a large scale, which can bring about blue revolution. Two types of fertilizers are used in farming, and they are organic, that is manure, and chemical fertilizers. Improved water holding capacity of the soil and soil conservation are the two main good effects of organic fertilizer. Due to humus formation, upper layer of the soil is formed. Essential elements nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium are easily available due to activities of earthworms and fungi. Chemical fertilizers have adverse effects in farming. Due to excessive use of chemical fertilizers, fertility of soil decreases. Soil bacteria, cattle, and human get affected due to chemical fertilizers. Water bodies and soil gets contaminated due to chemical fertilizers. Insecticides. Plants have natural immunity to fight against infections. To eradicate the pests, insecticides are used on plants. This use can be harmful for the environment. Natural pest control measures such as insectivorous frogs and birds keep the pest population under control. But in an attempt to increase the yield, man excessively uses the pesticides and insecticides. These are toxic to all resident organisms. They also show biomagnification, in which the concentration of the insecticide goes on increasing according to the food chain. The insecticides like DDT, malathion, chloropyrifos also contaminate water and soil. Organic farming. When the chemical fertilizers and pesticides are not used, only local, sturdy varieties are cultivated and a natural balance is maintained, then such type of farming is called organic farming. Organic farming and organic products are in demand these days. The use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides cause many environmental problems due to pollution. The soil fertility is decreased. The insect pests become resistant and cause more damage. Organic farming can help to save the environment from such effects. Apiculture is rearing of the honeybees to obtain products such as honey and wax. In such practice, artificial hives are placed. By such practice, the honey can be extracted without causing any harm to the honeybees or their hives. Importance of medicinal plants and cultivation. In Ayurveda practices, the natural remedies were used. Since India had great biodiversity and traditional knowledge of herbal medicinal uses, therefore people depended on such medicinal plants. In olden days, such herbs were collected by roaming in the jungles. Such important medicinal herbs are now cultivated with care. In entire world, people have understood the importance of holy basil, adulsa, jestmad, etc. In some of the allopathy medicines too, the plant extracts are used. Medicines made from harmful chemicals have side effects and are not safe to be used unless there is medical supervision. Therefore, worldwide herbal remedies are gaining more popularity. Next is fruit processing. Fruits are perishable foodstuff. They are spoiled soon if not consumed immediately. Hence, for storage and usage for a long term, their preservation is absolutely essential. For year-long use of the fruits, they are dried, salted, packed in airtight containers, used for preparing jams and jellies, or condensed into pulps or syrups. Beverages, pickles, sauce, and various other products made from the fruits are largely used by us. The preserved products also fetch financial benefits. In national and international markets, Indian fruits like mangoes are in great demand. We can get foreign currency through exports of fruits and fruit products. The local horticulturists get good benefit from their orchards. Processed fruit products also gives vitamins and minerals that help in maintaining good health. Thus, the fruit processing is important for the human life. Children, with this we end our lesson. Read this lesson carefully. Write answers to the questions given in the textbook. Thank you, girls. Take care.